Okay, so resume tayo sa part 2, ano? Alam ninyo, ano, class, buti na lang, pinutol ko ito, hinati ko ito into two phases or into two parts, itong aking video lecture. Kasi, okay, this is the second attempt for the part 2. Biglang naghang yung aking computer at nawala, ano, siguro mga naka 9 minutes na ako na explanation, biglang nawala yung aking recording. Okay, na-recover naman pero para hindi na tayo maputulan, no? Ulitin ko na lang para at least dalawa lang yung ating video lectures para sa lesson number 3. Okay? So, balikan natin ito, ano? Dito tayo na nagtapos kanina sa part 1 on software development controls review. Although hindi ko pa ito na-explain. Now, in developing a software, no? In developing a system, kinakailangan maganda yung control environment. Kasi pag medyo weak yung control environment natin, o medyo magkakaroon tayo ng mga issues dyan later on. Now, ito yung mga kinakailangan nating i-check, no? Para masabi natin na adequate yung control environment. Meron ba tayong mga development standards? Meron bang testing strategy? O remember, yung testing strategy, hindi pwedeng pagka-develop, go live agad, no? Kailangan i-test muna natin ito kung gumagana. Implementation and training. O, dito naman sa implementation and training, dapat mayroong proper training sa mga personnel na gagamit, no? And problem management and change management. Pag may na-encounter na problema, how do we deal with this? Paano natin ito i-manage? Kung may mga changes, sabihin na natin, change sa user requirements, how do we deal with the changes, no? Okay, kinakailangan natin itong tandaan para masabi natin later on, ano, or kinakailangan in place ito, ano, maganda, adequate yung ating control environment para makadevelop tayo ng effective na system. Okay? Now, let's talk about a software development or system development lifecycle or SDLC. Alam niyo kasi ano, napaka-importante na yung organization makapag-establish or makabuo ano ng formal procedure in developing a system. Pag wala kasing formal SDLC, complete with defined phases of development and specified points for review and evaluation, medyo masakit sa ulo yan sa part ng auditor. Okay? Kasi yung mga recommendations ay hindi readily accepted. Now, when we are talking of SDLC, tandaan natin itong mga ito, ano? Design, construction testing, documentation implementation, post-implementation, change control, applications control, communications recommendation, and then analysis. Now, gusto kong bigyan ng highlight, no? Etong application controls and later on yung change control. Kasi eto din yung mga in-emphasize sa lesson 3 sa ating IM. Okay, pag-usapan muna natin yung application controls. When we are talking of application controls, at ito yung nag-ensure na accurate and complete yung mga transactions sa pamamagitan ng mga examples na ito, no? Screen edits, processing checks against valid values, balancing totals between jobs, reasonableness checks against expected volumes or values, reconciliation between systems, and last, no, although not the least, controlled distribution of output. Ito ay mga ilan lang sa mga application controls, no? Ito naman, okay, ito makikita ninyo sa IM, no? Wala nga lang explanation. But these are the processes to acquire and implement control objectives. High-level design, detailed design, application control and auditability, application security and availability. O, careful sa words, ano? Baka mapagbaliktad ninyo. Configuration and implementation of acquired application software, major upgrades to existing systems, development of application software, applications requirement management, and application software maintenance. So these are the processes to acquire and implement control objectives. Now, syempre, when we are talking of controls, kasi nabanggit natin ano yung control environment, no? We are talking of, when we are talking of controls, laging may kapatid yan, ano? Yung other side, yung mga risks. Because when we are talking of controls, lagi kasi yung pang-mitigate ng mga risks, di ba? So the risk associated with automated application, because when we are talking of automated applications, ito yung wala nang manual intervention. Electronic na yung processing, no? So may mga risk pa rin yan na nakaakibat. Kagaya ng mga ito, no? Weak security. O what if mahina yung security? That is a risk. O maapektuhan yung ating mga applications. Unauthorized access to data. Unauthorized remote access. Paano kung nagkaroon ng mga access sa mga data, hindi naman pala authorized? Mali-maling information, no? Inaccurate information. Erroneous or falsified data input, no? Mali din. Or kaya, dinaya, no? Finalsify. Misuse by authorized end users. Incomplete processing, hindi natapos, no? Duplicate transactions, dala-dalawa. Or hindi lang duplicate, kung hindi, mas marami pa sa dalawa, no? Untimely processing. What if there are communication system failure? Paano kung kulang, hindi sapat yung training, hindi sapat yung support, no? So ito ay mga risks associated with automated applications. Now, ito naman ay mga additional risks pa, no, associated with automated application. Ito kasi nakalista sa ating IM sa overview, no? Tapos after kasi ng overview na yon, may mga explanation. Pero meron ito, etong mga ito ay wala doon sa listahan, pero mga dangers pa din ito, mga risks, no? Insufficient documentation and users. End user computing application risks. Incompatible systems, no? Ineffective implementations. Absence of segregation of duties. Incomplete system analysis. Unauthorized access to data or programs, and yung EDI, no, electronic data interchange application risks. So eto po so imagine madami-dami yung mga delikado pala kahit na automated application. So dapat nga maganda yung ating control environment, no? Meron tayong mga measures in place. Now, eto pa yung tatlong other related controls na makikita din niyo sa IM. The input controls related sa input, kasi syempre, kung mali yung feed mo, mali din naman yung ilalabas. O user interface. Okay, and then the authenticity. Authentic ba yan? Okay? So, eto naman yung iba pang mga controls. Now, dako tayo from application controls, papunta naman sa change control. Syempre, what happens if there are changes? Dapat may control tayo dyan. Kasi kung wala tayong control dyan, yari, no? Kung may mga significant changes or kahit mga minor change pero hindi alam kung paano, no? The most important area of control in any information processing environment is change control. Para ma-reduce yung system disruptions, no? Kasi what happens if there are changes? Malamang madidisrupt ito yung system. So, we want to reduce, kaya dapat meron tayong mga change control. Pangalawa, minimize number of backouts. Pangatlo, provide consistent change implementation. Pang-apat, provide accurate and timely documentation. So, ito yung mga apat na gusto nating ma-minimize or maiwasan. When we are talking of change control, meron tayong tinatawag na change management. Going back dito sa ating yung 5 na para masabi natin na meron tayong adequate na control environment. When we are talking of change control, change management is the overall process that ensures effective changes in an IT environment. Ang purpose kasi ng change management is to minimize the likelihood of disruption and unapproved changes as well as errors. Okay? Yung change management process, this is one that consists the following. Number 1, analysis. Number 2, implementation. And number 3, review of all changes. So, ito yung nagmamanage ng mga changes. Of course, yung controls naman, yung mga naka-in place para ma-secure natin, na minimize yung mga risks. Okay? Now, a change management system consists of the following controls. Kaya nga, magkaakibat yan. Related yung dalawa. Ito, number 1. Processing of request changes or the change request process as detailed doon sa IM, yung may explanation part. Number 2, assessment of impact by the change. Ang sa explanation, ang tawag naman niya, impact assessment. Number 3, control process over changes. Number 4, revisions to documentations and procedures. Number 5, authorization of maintenance changes or authorized maintenance. Number 6, policy for new software releases. And number 7, process for distributing software. Now, itong number 8, wala ito sa, sa list pero nandoon siya sa mga explanation. And this is all about emergency change process. So, ito yung mga controls natin, in relation sa mga change management, sa system of change management. Now, we have the following tools and procedures because related sa change management. Because the following areas should be considered when developing a change management procedure. Dapat na-document yung reason for change. Bakit kinakailangan magkaroon ng pagbabago, no? Parang it sounded political, Pangalawa, identify who is requesting the change. Sino yung request ng pagbabago? Pangatlo, formalize who will make the change. O sino yung gagawa ng pagbabago, And number 4, define how the change will be made. Papaano yung pagbabago gagawin. Document back-out procedure should the need arise. Okay, dapat merong back-out procedures. Assess the risk of failure and impact on the change. Aid in communicating with those affected by the change. Identify disaster recovery considerations. Identify conflicts between multiple change. Dalawa ito, hindi ko na paghiwalay. And enhance management's awareness of all of the above. Parang naging multiple choice question by all of the above. So ito yung mga tools, Ito yung mga kailangan natin i-consider in creating a change management procedure. Okay? Itong mga sumusunod. 10 yata ito Kaso may dalawa, Take note of this, yung identify disaster recovery consideration and identify the conflicts between multiple changes. Magkahiwalay po yan. Okay? Meron naman tayong tinatawag na configuration management. Ang configuration management, this is controlling the physical inventory and relationships among components that form a set of baseline, objects that are subject to change. May kinalaman pa rin ito sa change management, configuration management. How do we configure? How do we manage configuration? It includes the configuration management of applications, system software, hardware, and networks. The following, are software configuration management plan. Number 1, software configuration identification. Please check your IM for the explanation. Number 2, assign a unique identifier or number to each CI. Ang ibig sabihin ng CI dito ay configuration identification. Number 3, functional baseline. The completion and acceptance of the system requirements specification. Number 4, hanggang 16, madami-dami yan. Allocated baseline. Developmental configuration. Product baseline. Problem reporting, tracking, and corrective action, change control, change review, traceability analysis, configuration control, configuration status accounting, configuration audits and reviews, functional configuration and audit, configuration audit, nabubulol na ako, physical configuration audit, and archive, retrieval, and release. Meron po yung mga explanation, mga short explanation sa IM, pakibasa na lang po nito. Okay? What else? A change control review would determine whether system changes are authorized ba yan? Na-test ba yan? Documented ba yan? Na-communicate ba yan? Kontrolado ba yan? Okay? In change control review, the following areas would be covered. Authorization. Kagaya nga dito, authorized ba yan? Testing. Na-test ba yan? Yung unit, yung system, and then the user acceptance. Documentation. Ito, documented. Communication, ito, at saka controls. Well, actually, parang in-itemize lang natin yung nandito sa taas, di ba? This is about change control review. Okay? Now, Insufficient change control processes have the following risks. Okay, andito na naman tayo sa risk. System outage due to error, omissions, or malicious intent. Pangalawa, data loss or errors due to error, omission, or malicious intent. Yung una, system outage. Pangalawa, data loss or errors. Pangatlo, unauthorized changes. Pang-apat, fraud or abuse to company systems or data. Pang-lima, repeated errors. Pang-anim, reruns of systems or application processes. Okay, risk yan sa change control. Okay, kaya nga dapat meron tayong change control review. Now, ano naman ang audit involvement? Okay, eto, madami ito 1 to 14 ito actually. Hindi ko na ito babasahin isa-isa kasi parang binasa ko lang ito pero hindi ko naman ipapaliwanag. Okay, eto naman kasi ay self-explanatory. Halimbawa, sa number 1, examplean ko lang. Obtain copies of policies, procedures related to change management. Ano explanation ko dyan? Of course, kuha ka ng kopya ng mga policies and procedures. Okay? So, self-explanatory naman yan. Kaya hindi ko na siya i-identify. Now, ganito na lang. Kung sakaling may question kayo, saka na lang ninyo ako tanungin. Okay? But please take note, madami-dami kasi yan. Of course, more of review and checking ang pinag-uusapan natin for audit involvement. Kasi halimbawa dito sa number 6, review systems availability reports. Number 7, review system change logs. Okay? Ito naman 8 to 14, madami-dami yan kaya medyo maliliit din siya. Okay? Once again, please revisit your IM. Okay? So of course, meron tayong audit reports kasi may audit involvement dapat meron yang communication with the management, So, dapat meron tayong prepare na audit report. And these are some of the key reporting points, Kasi sabi nga dito, interim reports may be needed at the completion or major phases in the development process. Planning, adequacy of the project plan and cost-benefit analysis. During the planning ba, adequate ba, sapat ba yung plano? At of course, yung cost-benefit analysis. Kasi very critical ito para sa management. Hindi ba sila malulugi sa i-invest nila? On the design phase, on the design part, adequate ba yung mga controls at auditable ba yung ating design? Kasi kung hindi, issue yan. Pangatlo, testing. Adequate ba yung test strategy and completeness of the test objectives? Sa implement naman, readiness of the system and user components for production. And then, sa post-implementation, effectiveness and efficiency of the live system and whether the initial system criteria were met. So, ito yung dapat kasama sa audit report ng auditor as part ng kanyang involvement sa software development and implementation. Okay? Or sa software development when we are talking of this one. Now, the system implementation process, the main purpose is to verify that of course, the solution, akala ko continuation. Kanina, hanggang dito, we are talking of the development. Okay? Nandito na tayo sa pangatlong phase ng software development, which is implementation. Now, the system implementation process main purpose is to verify that the solution meets its intended purpose. Siyempre, implementation na ba yan? Gumagana ba? Working ba? Nami-meet ba nito kung ano yung purpose kaya ito ginawa? So, take note of this, system implementation process. Identify, improve, innovation, management, and success. Sa identify, configuring the system. Sa improve, testing the functionality. Sa innovation, converting data. Sa management, training users. And sa success, preparing for production support. So, ito yung ating system implementation process. Okay ba? Configured ba yung system? Gumagana na siya, Testing functionalities, di ba? Yung conversion ng data, yung pagtitrain ng mga users, And then the preparation for yung support, production support. Okay? Now, to have an effective and successful implementation, these are the 4 elements. Good planning and requirement definitions, management of the configuration, and user involvement and support, and then management support. So take note of this four, no? Ito yung mga elements of a successful implementation. Kasi pwede naman na na-implement pero hindi naman pala successful. So consider pa rin natin itong mga elements na ito. Okay? Kasi syempre may mga risks tayo dito, ano? But of course, we're not talking of the risk in this slide. We are talking of the controls that should be included in a system implementation process. Take note, 10 yan. Implementation approach, system testing, user processes and procedures, management reports and controls, problem management reporting, user acceptance testing, help desk and production support training and readiness, data conversion and data correction processes, operation procedures and readiness, and last, security. So madami-dami yung mga controls. Akala natin simple lang na okay, implemented na ito. Pero dapat may mga controls pa rin dyan. Hindi lamang sa software development, kung hindi, maging sa implementation. Okay? A well-controlled implementation phase minimizes production issues such as systems bugs, yung mga system errors, performance issues. Okay? Mga issues sa performance, misunderstood expectations, hindi pala na-meet or magkaiba yung iba yung understanding sa expectation, and misaligned staffing. Okay? So, para maiwasan natin yon, kailangan meron tayo nitong mga controls. Okay? Now, that's all for the implementation. We are on the last part, okay, of our phase, which is maintenance. Now, sa IM ninyo, merong tatlong klase ng maintenance. The corrective maintenance, the adaptive maintenance, and then the perfective maintenance. Sa corrective maintenance, ito yung key term, correcting existing functionality to make it work. Although may explanation pa tayo doon. Sa adaptive maintenance naman, adapting some changes in business conditions. Okay? Kung sakaling may mga changes sa business conditions. At yung panghuli, perfective maintenance, incorporation of new user needs not met by the current system to support new requirements. Okay, perfective. Check your IM pero take note of the terminologies na ginagamit to. Corrective, kung sakaling may mga functionality na medyo kinakailangang i-work out para maging maayos siya. Adaptive, what happens if there are some changes, Perfective, papaano kung may mga bagong user requirements. Okay? So, that's the end of my slide sa aking supplemental material for our lesson 3. And I hope, in a way, and I really hope na nakatulong ito sa inyo, sa pag-aaral nitong ating instructional material on lesson 3 for software development and implementation. Okay? So, maraming salamat, class. Okay? That is my expectation na binabasa or pinapakinggan nyo rin itong ating IM, para makatulong sa pag-iintindi ng ating subject matter. Okay? So hanggang dito muna tayo, I'll see you sa ating mga live sessions. Until then, bye-bye.